Not with it.
Well, Selangor Red Giants gave 3 crucial heroes to Alter Ego. Heroes integral to the destruction of the Golden Road. Unless SRG suddenly whip out some next level MLBB gameplay, then they might just be falling in this very first game. Malaysia versus Indonesia, SRG versus Alter Ego.
Smash them.
Here we go. Alter Ego just took down a Titan, and now next in sight are the Giants here. Welcome everyone to this best of 5. A spot to the grand finals to face off. Rora from the Philippines is on the line, and it starts here. Brigida, how are we feeling? I mean, did you get some time to recalibrate after the last match, and now we jump into this one? Whoa, Hijime.
Okay, I thought we'd be seeing another first blood in less than a minute, but I'm first of all glad to see Patrick.
Yeah.
I'm glad to cast Patrick,
Everyone
but
loves
I'm
it.
very surprised to see it in Rome. And I guess this goes to show how deep Alter Ego and their pockets are in terms of bringing out these picks or these drafts. But then, overall, I just feel like momentum is definitely on their side. This is a draft that will enable them to keep fighting as much as they want. But SRG, just the same, since they have this very tanky lineup, they just have to find the right targets to go for. And I feel like that's why we're seeing those fast rotations come in. But so far, Alter Ego are just quick to reposition.
And Arfi's been playing this matchup all day long. Freya up against Claude, and he seems to always do well on it. And even Nino getting bullied up top a little bit.
Yep.
Doesn't feel too bad because last game saw him behind 2 deaths and still carried.
Yeah, I wonder how this is going to work out too, just because, again, like the panel mentioned, there's basically 3 very comfort picks that we just saw from the last series with Alter Ego. Again, I just feel like I've only seen basically that in the gold lane. It's typically Arfi putting pressure on the Claude as he should, and we know that how that scaling can go here for them. But even so, to see this Leomord in the hands of Yazuke, where he had to go ahead and deal with it from Carl Teasy in the previous one, you know that they want to go ahead and start things strong. And even for Nino on the CC, I think that was such a big part of that game 5 in the last series here. So yeah, if I had to say anything, momentum-wise, Alter Ego Esports should have this with this kind of draft too. I mean, but SRG is going to go claim the turtle.
Nice level 4 over to Cram just in time. A big Raven Spider comes down. Yazuke on the steed. Looking for Yumes now. Yumes brought down low. Can Nino get the kill? Yazuke with first blood. So a turtle for a kill. How we feel about that trade?
It feels as if it's still somewhat in favor of Alter Ego, because from the get-go, it didn't seem like they wanted the turtle anyway. They were just standing in the EXP lane. They had their eyes set on Cram. It seems like Cram was the initial target. It just so happened that Yumes was there. He was the more accessible one for them at the moment as SRG transitioned towards potentially considering that fight after the objective. So I feel like this is Alter Ego and their game plan all along, but Arfi?
Nice gank onto Arfi. In comes the Blazing Duet. Arfi in a bad spot, taking out Sekai's. Able to get the kill. Look at Alec though. Gets a slam. Hijime gets involved as well. Doesn't use RWM just yet. Here comes Barbio. The slam through and they're all caught in the RWM. Yume's trying to do damage on a Hijime as Sekai's goes up against Yazuke. It's a 1v2. He pushes him inside and down goes Yazuke.
Sekai's is still alive. He's so tanky. Now Arfi trying to join in.
All right, Arfi looking for the battle. Alter Ego decides to back off. It's 2-2.
Okay, that shows us that yes, they want to go ahead and shut down Arfi from scaling up the way we saw him do previously. They make a play there in the gold lane, but then they also have to answer, and they're still going to stay down here. Now, one of the big things that they can play around for Alter Ego Esports, like we just saw, was that combination of having the real-world manipulation in your favor, and then you kind of just let to go and let loose with the Phantom Steed and everything else. But there's good response from SRG's lineup. They're capable of fighting back if they want to.
A lot of damage onto Yumes. Yumes won't be able to get away from this one. Yazuke with another kill into his pocket. Add that on with the War Axe. He's 3-1-0. It's looking good.
Yeah.
For him.
I was supposed to say, Alter Ego so far have found ways to really deal with Stormy. I think so far, considering the damage profile right now, it's really Stormy who you want to go after at that moment. But now it's even Yumes who seems like a really easy target. Alec, wait.
Alex taking a lot of damage. There goes the RWM though. RP locks onto Cram. Sakai's is able to get the turtle though. Into the backside, Nino looking for damage dealers, but the damage goes all onto RP. Graham able to get the kill, but Alter Ego don't want to let it go down. Guys, Hijume and Alec are moving forward. Another kill into the hands of Stormy as Yasuke bites one back. It's a 2 for 2. The turtle still goes to SRG.
They just really want to keep fighting. That was Alec also burning the flicker just to force that dive under the tier 2, making sure that Yasuke too has company as he goes in for the dive.
There's I don't know, it's like a hidden passive about the SpongeBob and Patrick skin. Like, you just want to fight them. There's something about it, man, and that's what happened. Alec was taking all that damage, and it started up that fight that was chosen by SRG. So,
yeah.
You know, amidst it all, some kills obviously went over to Alter Ego, and they had a good fight there, but SRG still maintains the lead.
Yep.
They do have still some control around the map.
Who got it?
Oh, did he get the orange buff?
Oh.
Yes. Yasuke will be able to get away safely with this. Cram moving on to Hijume. Yume's there as well. Alec looking to join the fray.
Oh.
A lot of damage with a blazing duet. Innocent able to get the kill on a Hijume. Alex now in trouble. Next on the chopping block, he gets the slam, tries to bring him back, but he's caught in between 4 members. They're gonna jump him, they're gonna pound him down, and now Yasuke's on the run as well as wants to close the distance. Out comes the Phantom Steed. Innocent now getting involved as well as Yasuke picks up Humes, flickers through, and Nino gets away safely.
Oh my, that was a well-timed entry from Innocent. You saw it. Arfi was nowhere to be found during that instance, so there definitely was an advantage towards SRG. But Yasuke, though, the reset and him getting his ultimate for the second time around is still finding something out of that. It's still a really good stat line we're seeing, and he's still ahead of Sakai's.
He wants to take the buff again.
He's gonna take another one here with the pushback onto you. Comes Arfi with the Valkyrie descent. Sakai's gonna be in a lot of trouble here. One more hit and he does go down. Yasuke picks up the kill, and now Yasuke's on the run. Cram able to close the distance though. And now Stormy moving on Arfi. A nice stun onto Alec. The grab, slam. A nice RB to catch Stormy and Innocent. But Cram is taking him for a ride. Back onto the tower. Alec finally forced to run off, but Nino's onto the tower. He doesn't care about the shots. He's gonna get the kill. But Innocent now look for the response with a blazing duet. The Vengeance able to respond back, and we are back down to calm.
Alter Ego wants to fight the Giants, and the Giants will always fight back. Again, all this for the buff pressure in the jungle is what's happening here. Third turtle is up. We'll see if SRG secures this one again, but man, you got to get up to Alter Ego. The way they like to fight on the map early on, it doesn't matter. They'll take those fights.
And they may have stayed a bit too long there, though, because they were able to take away the objective or the buffs from Sakai's, but Sakai's was able to get away. And now it's these two marksmen who keep fighting. Hold on.
Big hit on to Cram. Cram's gonna go down. Arp comes into the backside though. Looking to try to get the final hit. Yume's able to find Yasuke. Nino finds Cram. It's a 1-for-1 and a blazing duet locks on to Hijume. And he does go down. Innocent wants another. He's gonna chase down Innocent. Doesn't have the BMI currently, but it's just a couple more shots. He finally flickers in. One more hit, but no! Cram won't go down like this.
But he has to get off, and Innocent's just gonna go again, but you can't chase him down. The flying clouds.
Walks into Stormy. Sakai's there as well. Now Nino in the back. Let's get under the base safely. What is going on?
That's the curtain call. He could have reached. He could have reached it. He could have went for the chase, but
He was tied up.
he was tied up.
Tied up by the yo-yo, man. I mean, hey, that's about as good as it will get in those engages. But man, Alter Ego Esports, you know, looking at the items too, falling into place here, you've got to go with some defense, and that's why you got those brute forces built in.
Yep.
Nino has to help Yasuke, especially when they decide to go into these fights again, fighting around the real world manipulation. It does help them kind of lock down the control, but so far, notice how SRG has taken these fights. They also have pretty good defensiveness now too, with the couple chastised pauldrons they have, plus the Dom Ice on Yumes. He picks up his own, so they are going into these fights ready to just kind of brawl it out defensively.
And Alter Ego does not have that just yet. They don't have a direct answer to Innocent, who, compared to what we've seen whenever Arvi on the Freya goes up against the Claude in their previous series against Liquid, seems to be performing much better on the Claude. These early decisions to join the fights, the amount of damage you get to see from him, and that Swift Trinity already completed in 9 minutes.
Yep.
means so much about how Innocent was able to handle the laning phase.
Well, not only that, but Singular Red Giants as a whole made a great job at ganking that gold lane to make sure Innocent had a good experience.
You know where that is? Because I see that fight with RP multiple times in the last series. They're like, you know what? If we want to go ahead and have a better chance here, Innocent's got to do his thing, but we also got to allow him to do his thing. And so that one or two times they went down and kind of focused on that to get that kill, or at least to stop RP from bullying the lane early on, that's what helped bring them to this point. Now they've got control around this first Lord here. Alter Ego, though, trying to get a position for this, unless they go for RP. Okay. No,
He's just going to get pushed back. There's the commit, though. Big Brave Spider with a blazing duet from Innocent. Hijume now just trying to get away, but he's going to get chopped down. Yasuke does bring out the Phantom Steed, but at this point, AE just wants to get away free. SRG now looking, pacing. Arfi going to back off. They just want the Lord. Will AE give it to him?
Arfi wasn't the real target. When they saw Arfi and when they felt that SRG might actually go for him, Hijume, the other members were forced to reveal themselves, and unknowingly, Cram was there, ready to jump on them anytime. And that was the perfect cue for Innocent to just use the Blazing Duet at the right moment as well. There was no way Hijume could have gotten out of that, not without the flicker. And now Alter Ego couldn't even contest, but wait.
Big Valkyrie's descent. Arfi finally moves on to Stormy. A couple more shots, but it gets stunned. Wait, the final hit connects. Innocent gonna be pulling up soon, though. RP still going strong. Yasuke, the RWM catches two, and that's gonna be it for Cram. Alter Ego Esports always fight back.
They'll take the fight even with a Lord charging toward them. They don't care. They'll go for it. The Purify will not save Stormy.
Yeah, and such a brutal way to deal with Cram, who you saw for how many times in a row now was just able to easily get access to Hijume. But during that moment where it wasn't such a reactive real-world manipulation that you get to see from Hijume, he was being well guarded by the other members of Alter Ego. Surprisingly, they have ways, they have damage to already deal with this guy, and that is something you could also expect from them in the upcoming team fight so long as they're able to set up, but Sakai's.
Nice dodges from Alec and Arfi.
Oh, there's the re-engage.
Does get the grab. Force use a flicker, and comes Cram with a Brave Spider. Innocent gets some more free shots. Barbiel does come out, but AE decides to disengage.
Okay.
All right, they wanted, like, there was an attempt to set something up. They didn't get the setup they were looking for if you're SRG, and then Alec decided to go ahead and engage. He gets zoned out from his team. Nothing too bad, though, because, again, that one kill doesn't really change the course of the game. They're, at this point, playing into the Lord here in about 1:20.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at the itemization and everything else, even the space on the map, it's nearly even, right? 3 turrets are down. Alter Ego's got that. SRG has 3 now as well. So it's more so about these constant fights that we've seen breaking out. How do the adjustments be made here? Again, once we get to some of those defensive items coming into place, that's where you'll see a little more finesse that's needed for the team to have that upper hand. Conceals also are going to be a big part of this.
Yeah, and it's also maybe a Flying Clouds thing, where they
true.
just constantly find themselves back wherever the team fight was last seen, and they just constantly find ways to start again, which I think has been working really well so far for both of these teams, because it's just really a matter of timing and who gets to force out a fight at the better moment, especially considering now that we're approaching the more important objectives, and the gold lead hasn't really swung significantly in any of these teams' direction so far. It's always been less than 1K. I guess the most significant you could really look at is how Yasuke is already 2K up ahead of Sekai's, but that's a utility you're talking about.
Oh, Brave Spider comes in. Yoon shows up as well. Arfi able to dash away, and this is, I mean, Alter Ego continuously just testing the waters here.
They were basically like, you know what, Lord's coming up. Let's not lose anybody in this. They disengaged. They're going to go ahead and reset. One of the things we're seeing too from Arfi is, you know, now that he's built up, he might be down 1,000 gold against Innocent, but he's really focusing on trying to catch Stormy. I'm not sure if they're going to get here in time, though. Lord goes for a bit of a reset, but they go.
Stun. Into the backside, Blazing Duet connects onto nobody. Alec gonna get the stun onto 2 in the backside. Arfi tries to disrupt Humes, but is on the run. Cram brought low. Yasuke picks up the kill. Now they're gonna move on to Sakai's. Innocent looking for free shots. Sakai's brought back to the team, and Nino just needs a few more shots. The RWM, the mega kill, and Alter Ego are finding the advantage as we speak.
Okay, Yasuke, another Phantom Steeds trying to chase, but SRG, it's only 3 of them left.
Yeah, they can't contest this. That was a hard fought for the Lord here. They'll be able to grab it for Alter Ego.
You would have thought Crab was in such a perfect position already to start a fight, but once it all broke out, he couldn't find his target. He just wanted to go for Hijume at that moment, but Hijume was able to reposition, get under tier 2, and now Crab finds himself in the middle of 4 members of Alter Ego who he couldn't really just fight against all alone.
You know, we keep saying Innocent is doing great. He's 5-0-5, but it's so hard to find multiple members with that Blazing Duet because Alter Ego has such a split up composition.
Yeah.
And everyone has dashes, everyone has kites, unless you hit Alec, who's gonna stun you, and they're able to all kind of hold their own essentially. If they want to go 1v2 somewhere, they can, and at least nobody goes down. So what we saw in the last fight, Innocent Blaze Duet just connects to nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, not only that, but also, again, Arfi is doing a great job at trying to go for Stormy, and then the team, SRG, kind of has to deal with that and help Stormy peel. And that's why Cram ended up dying, because he was separated from the team. So that is going to continue to happen for these team fights, where you see that pressure towards that back line here. The Lord charges in.
Cram into the backside with a bravest fighter, goes straight to his death. A Valkyrie Ascent, ready for the engage as Yasuke pounces down on a Sekai's, but a Blazing Duet into the back line, but it's still just not enough. He has to be on my back. He's able to find Hijume. And now it's a 3v3. SRG defend. The towers.
Wow, Innocent threaded the needle there. He was 1 hit away from going down, but able to capitalize a kill. That was enough to keep them in the game, but man, Arfi is a menace on this Freya. He might have had a hard time in the early game, but they're looking to take a base turret here.
Yeah, did use the Valkyrie Descent to get out though. Now he uses this to dash forward.
Insert onto Yums. Yums brought very low. Nino able to pick up the kill, but now Yasuke has to back up. Arfi may have finally met his match.
Oh!
He goes down with Stormy picking up the kill, but they do break the inhibitor.
Arfi's like, I want this kill. He wanted to kill Innocent, didn't even use the flicker, but he goes down. Ultimately, there's some damage on the turrets of the base of SRG. They lose the bottom turret, but still, nonetheless, they keep things mostly intact. 2 base turrets still up, some key defensive items being picked up as well. Now you've got the immortality in the hands of Yums. And yes, like you mentioned, Trex, one of the hard things about this is Innocent getting value out of the Blazing Duet. He does just pick up the Malefic Gun now, so he's got that Rose Gold and a Win in Nature for defense. Yeah, that's the hard thing, is actually getting use of the damage profile that you have, and that's why the panel mentioned this, that the damage profile of it and making it work is a little finicky, and you just got to be able to pull that off.
So maybe that's why Arfi really wanted to force that, because he knew, I guess, 2 things. He was already full build, and there was no Winter Crown or Wind of Nature for Innocent. So he really wanted to force that first kill, but Crab.
Gonna push the fight, a nice grab onto Cram, but wait a second, Yums is locking onto Arfi. Alter Ego might want to disengage on this one, not try to take the full fight. They're all down to about half health.
Yeah, that's
quite low.
Yeah, it's gonna be enough time for them though to just reset and prep for the upcoming one. They'll be making sure that they take care of the waves though. Fortunately for them, 1 base turret's already down for SRG.
Yeah, they can work this. Lord is up. Going to be started here. It will evolve shortly. Again, Flying Clouds being traditionally one of the maps, if not the longest play time right now throughout M7 is Flying Clouds.
One pack.
So they'll start this up, half health on the Lord. Attraction Pulse thrown out.
Arfi with a Valkyrie Descent onto Sakai's. He's brought down to so low. Arfi just shredding through. In the backside though, Sakai's falls. Cram gonna be the next. Arfi keeps on going. On to the next one, but a Blazing Duet. Into the backside, Yasuke brought low, but he snipes him out with the sword.
Someone ban this Freya from Arfi.
Why is he still getting his hands on the Freya?
Time after time, Alter Ego break through the base, and it's not going to be enough to stop him here. Waiting for a few more minions, couple more hits, and Alter Ego end game.